Hello BookTube, and welcome back to the library tour of Doom. A library tour of all of my books, book by book, all the books on the shelves, all the books that I've had in the past, and all the books that are on my iPad. So it's going to take a while. And today is Wednesday, that's New Comic Book Day. So I thought once again I would shine the spotlight on a comic book. And today we're going back to, I think, the early 2000s? 2003. This is Justice League of America, Welcome to the Working Week. Thin little square-bound thing that came out at the time, written by Patton Oswalt, who I think a lot of you will know from his great Star Wars riff on a TV show, on a comedy show. An actor, a screenwriter, that sort of thing, and a JLA fan. He's also a massive Star Wars fan, from what I know. And he decided to write this story, and it's drawn by Patrick Gleason, who the comic book fans out there will know for his great run on Superman. He did a great run with Peter Tomasi on Superman, where Superman is married to Lois Lane, and they have a little boy named Jonathan, and they are a nuclear family with a dog, and it was wonderful. The Tomasi Gleason run on Superman was one of the last great runs I think the character will ever have. Recently collected into or maybe the collection is coming into a great big hardcover brick of a thing that I would love to own. I keep hesitating to pull the trigger on purchases like that because they're so expensive. Those big brick hardcovers, I know I'm going to get a lifetime's use out of them, but they're so expensive. I would love the Tomasi Gleason run on Superman. There was also the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, the deluxe edition in a hardcover. I haven't got that yet because it's just so much money. Even though in a case like that, I know that the use will leaven out the money. I know that it will. It won't just sit on the shelf. I will look at them over and over again. And I look at this thing over and over again. I've read this probably 100 times since 2003, which makes me a little worried for it. I've never seen another copy of it, and I don't think it's been collected in any hardcover at all. This is a one-shot story about the Justice League as it existed in 2003. Patton Oswalt tells the story of a boy, a young man, who has a weird name. What is his name? Marlis. Marlis is his first name, even though no one has that first name. It's probably an anagram of some kind. Marlis Randone is his full name. That's probably an anagram of something clever. And it's the story of a town. There's a town that is threatened by a supervillain menace of some kind or other. And the Justice League, in order to get civilians out of the way while they combat the menace, they teleport everyone in the town up to their satellite headquarters. And then when the menace is dispatched, they teleport everyone else. They teleport everyone back down to Earth, except for Marlis, who stows away on the Justice League satellite. He's been fascinated with superheroes his whole life, and he decides, while he's a stowaway, to clandestinely observe our heroes for the course of the week that is alluded to in the title. And it's a perfect way for Patton Oswalt to sort of write about the Justice League from a common point of view, from an ordinary human point of view. Someone who knows these people only from their reputations, and that's all. So we get a whole bunch of little vignettes like that as the boy wanders around the satellite. Like, for instance, he gives a little secretive look at the Martian Manhunter. One of the Justice League founding members that is least known to the general public today. He makes, in the Snyder Cut version of Justice League, he makes an appearance at the end. But he's never caught on. And this kid says that if Superman is Elvis, then this is Dylan. For every time the world's been saved in sunshine by Superman, it's been saved in the shadows by this guy. And he has a little disposable camera, so he takes a picture and then runs away. And he gets to observe all the different League members this way. And he gets to hear their dealings with supervillains, their dealings with law enforcement. He gets to watch as they watch the world from orbit. He gets to spin some of his theories about them, like his theory that if you put together everything that you know about Batman, it's pretty obvious that Batman is Lex Luthor, and so on and so forth. But when he's in the satellite, an emergency strikes. An alien being called Feast arrives with a whole bunch of superpowered minions, intent on taking over the world, and the League has to spring into action. Feast seems at first unbeatable, and they are concerned. They are watching the monitor, and they are concerned. And Marlis walks up behind them in order to get their attention. And Patton Oswalt and Patrick Gleason give us a great moment. He's walking up behind the heroes, And then some of you will know the lyrics to the song. You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. And that's when the League is immediately aware of him. But there's only so much they can do. They can't really pay much attention to him because Feast, who kind of looks like a 1980s LA gang member, but that's just his human appearance. Feast has attacked the world with his minions and noticed the Justice League. He has noticed these weird super beings that are unlike anything in Feast's experience in his long history of attacking planets. He actually goes through a list of them. A Martian xenomorph, that's the Martian Manhunter. An Oan power battery, that's Green Lantern, whose ring is powered by a power battery from the planet Oa. A being linked to the speed source, that's the Flash. In this book, I think it's Wally West, but it doesn't really matter. The point of the note here that Feast gives us, the thing that Patton Oswalt sort of invents, is that although the Speed Force may be known, it's probably unknown, unheard of, that a living being would be connected with it that allows the Flash to move so fast. Let's see here. Themysciran clay. That's a reference to Wonder Woman, who was shaped out of clay on Paradise Island by her mother and infused with life and superpowers by the Greek gods. So she is technically a golem, not a human being at all. Kryptonian solar energy absorbing cells. That's the current version of Superman. The Superman version that's been extant for about 50 years is a character who is made superpowered by the sun. That interpretation took over from the older one, in which it was a combination of Earth's yellow sun and Earth's lower gravity that gave Superman his powers. And now he's just sort of a walking solar battery. That's a reference to him. And then finally, and your Plastic Man. Plastic Man is he on the cover here? Yes, he's in the background eating a sandwich. He was one of the main Justice League heroes at this time. Your Plastic Man, we're still analyzing those samples. So Feast is certain that he is going to win. He's certain that the Justice League can't defeat him, and he's wrong. He's wrong about that. And eventually he is humbled, he is brought low, all of his forces are defeated, and Batman glowers over him. And the boy is watching while Feast is helpless and is being made to capitulate by Batman. We're told when the others reappeared, Batman was doing something with a ballpoint pen, and he was, Feast cooperated. He cooperated, okay? And we have Feast is absolutely panicked and wants Batman to leave him alone. That's the classic moment. But he's not repentant. He's willing to give them the disarming sequence that they need to save the world, and he is in their custody. But he's not going to change his ways. He's still evil. And there's only one thing he regrets. In all of these standout super beings in the world, this is a time when this story was published. This was a time when a major plot line in a miniseries had seemed to end in the death of Aquaman. So Aquaman is not part of this team, and is presumed, at the time that this issue came out, he was presumed dead. And Feast says, I'm saddened your Sea King isn't here, because it would have added to his freak show of unusual beings. And that is when the boy speaks up. He speaks for the Justice League and says, you're lucky our Sea King isn't here. And then Batman sends him home. And that's the end of the story. And it's terrific. Absolutely terrific. It's a little overwritten. Patton Oswalt writes too much in this series, but in this book. But in the moments that are very effective are indeed very effective. There's a flashback with Aquaman in it that's terrific, and there's also the boy remembers two men that he knew. When he's thinking about what superheroes really are, he remembers two men that he knew, a policeman and a fireman. Showed up at the local bar. I want to read you that part because it's really, really good. Flash and Green Lantern remind me of these two guys, always hanging out at the breakfast, loudmouth mooks, always joking, always on their way to drinking or sobering up. But then, at the drop of a hat, they were cold, capable, and determined. Heroes, laughing at death, doing their jobs, until only one came back alone, still a hero, grieving an even bigger one. You have that great artwork by Patrick Gleason. All in one page, just a whole story captured in one page of what real heroism looks like. A terrific Justice League adventure. But I'm gentle with this because I never think it came out as a hardcover. I don't think it's ever been anthologized anywhere. So it's just a terrific look at the Justice League that I like to keep. I like to look at it now and again, but I have to be gentle with it for fear that I will destroy it, as I destroy so many of my things. But anyway, that's your book for today, for Comic Book Day, for the Library Tour of Doom. But I will be back. Thank you, BookTube.